Hello everybody, Foxden Gaming here with another No Man's Sky video, which I know a lot of people are probably expecting, like, hey, you were supposed to upload a video on No Man's Sky today, why didn't you? Well, the PC update got postponed down to Friday, which isn't that big of a deal to me. I mean, a lot of other people are doing No Man's Sky stuff, but they're like doing streams and stuff. And I'm just kind of trying to stay away from those because I kind of want to go into No Man's Sky blind. And because of that, I kind of can't until, I basically kind of have to stay off of YouTube for a little bit. But that's not a big deal for me. But what is kind of a big deal is I noticed that the reason why they postponed it is because, for one, they wanted everybody to get on the servers at the same time, which is really fucking dumb, but okay. No, I'm not trying to say that as, like, in a mean way, like, this is like the dumbest thing you could do, and you're dumb for doing it. But more of in a way of like, this is really stupid, your servers are gonna crash type thing. But maybe not. Maybe what they're doing is genius. I don't know. But at least I have an offline mode, so I can do that at least. Now, they released an update for No Man's Sky, though, which will be on, basically on PC immediately. So it's not really going to affect us as much, but it's more about the the PS4 release and how it's going to affect them. And I think one of the main things that I really like about this is it does give me a little bit of insight on what's to be expected for No Man's Sky. There's a lot of things that are like, doesn't really matter to me that much. But then there's other things that like make me super hype. So, let's see. So I'm just gonna read it, and I'll probably like screenshot some of the patch notes for it, and then you can look at it yourself. But and anyway, so let's look at this right now. Okay, so when we went gold for five or 6 weeks ago, we posted on Twitter and literally everyone was like, "Hope you were going to have a nice holiday." Some of us didn't, but. Some of us have, but I didn't want to, not yet. I pictured myself somewhere, staring out the window, thinking about this game that I've been working on for 5 years. We're under a pretty intense spotlight right now, and hopefully it's going to be easy to imagine how hard it would be to switch off from that, or how deeply we care. This is not about the, what it is. So blah blah blah. Hello Games will continually update No Man's Sky, and this is the first of many updates. And it will be available on Monday for press for review once it exits submission, and on launch for public on PC and PS4. We expect future updates like these to continue to be free. So, yeah, for most of us it's not going to matter. So for 99.9% of people, all you have to do is install the update before you begin to play. If you had an early copy somehow, your saved game will technically work post-update, but you will miss out on new content and experiences if you don't delete your save before updating. Should be obvious from notes below. We highly recommend deleting your save if you have played before updating your game. We won't do this in the future, but it's a day 0 update. So this is literally like an update before the game has even come out. So that's... A lot of people are probably going to be like, that's not good. But honestly, I don't really care. Because it's before we even get the game, So it's okay. Now, this is the part where I'm going to be saying, spoiler warning. And, it's going to be like, well, actually, before I do this, I'll go down to a very specific patch note, that I think is why they pushed it back to a little bit. So, the first one that really I think that caused the, whole idea of, like, now we gotta postpone the game a little bit is exploits. And there's one exploit that really does, kind of affect the game. The exploit is the Infinite Warp Cells exploit and the Rare Goods Trading exploit, among others, removed. So, people have been using these cheats and were ruining the game for themselves, but people are weird and can't stop themselves. Basically, these allow them to do things like get to the center of the universe in 30 hours. Granted, it's still a long time, but it's not compared to the 40 to 100 hours that you're supposed to be doing, you know. And then stability. Foundations for buildings on super large planets resolved several low repro crashes. In particular, when players warped further than 256 light years in one session, which was only possible due to the warp cell exploit above. So really, the game was stable, I guess, for the most part. And the only real glitches that were happening were when people were exploiting the game. So that's actually a really good sign. And now I'm going to be talking about a little bit more on the other things and, what to expect. Things like that. This is a spoiler warning, so keep that in mind when listening to this, and I hope that, you all enjoy yourselves, though. And for those of you who did get the game early, kudos to you, I'm jealous. But, okay, so beware that these notes contain some spoilers. Here are some little things our little team has been up to over the past 4 to 5 weeks. Sorry. The 3 paths. There are now new unique paths you can follow throughout the game. You must start the game on a fresh save with the patch, as early choices have significant impact on what you see later in the game and the overall experience. I don't understand what this means exactly. I guess it's more for depending on the way you get things will depend on how, I guess other people and other races will see you and how the, Sentinels will kind of react to you when you do things. The universe, we have changed the rules of the universe generation algorithm. Plants have been moved, environments have been changed, or have changed biomes. Galaxies have altered shape, all to create greater variety earlier. Galaxies are now up to 10 times larger. So this just means that the universe has been changed a little bit. The algorithm has been reset, basically. Things are going to be different. And apparently the galaxies are going to be now bigger, which is nice. That means that there's more stuff to explore. As if we didn't have enough to explore, right? Diversity. Creatures are now made of more diverse in terms of ecology and densities on planets. This actually is something that I'm really curious to see about, because they show off all these, planets and stuff and the creatures that you see in them. But, they don't really talk about, how they interact with each other. And that's something I kind of want to do. I don't want to be, the guy that's, going from planet to planet, just looking at the animals and be like, yep, found them, out. I kind of want to see the, ecology and stuff, involved with it. Because that's actually something that's really interesting to me. That's why I like, the concept of ecology, which is one of my most I want that game, but I can't get it at the moment just because reasons. Planets, we've now added dead moons, low atmosphere, and extreme hazardous planets. Extreme hazards include blizzards and dust storms. Little changes. These are kind of more important because that's something you actually have to upgrade to kind of deal with. Atmosphere, space, nighttime, and day skies are now 4 times more varied due to new atmospheric systems, which reflects light more accurately to allow more intense sunsets. So this is more just the thing to make the game pretty, I think. I don't think it actually affects the gameplay that much. Planet rotation, playtesting has made it obvious that people are struggling to adjust to this during play, so its effects have been reduced further. So I guess planets rotate and people just can't handle it, so it's... And I assume that's really hard to kind of get used to, if planets are rotating at a kind of noticeable degree, I assume it would be kind of weird, you know what I mean? But that's just me. Terrain generation. Caves up to 128 meters tall are now possible. Geometric anomalies have been added. Underwater erosion now leads to more interesting seabeds. This is actually something that's curious to me because I'm wondering if planets will actually change over time due to erosion and things like that. I don't think that they have something like that in the game, but the way that they put that, that might mean that, you know, maybe they do have something like that. So that's cool. Ship diversity. A wider variety of ships appear per star system and are available to purchase. Cargo and installed technology now vary more, and ships have more unique attributes. So, I assume this matters more if you're one of those people that are like, you know, starting off the game, like they're just buying it release day and they're like, you know, like whatever. But for me, since I pre-ordered the game, I already get a ship that's, that is, like, I think better than most of the starter ships because you actually have, like, warp drives installed right away. So, I mean, that's cool and all, but it doesn't really affect me that much. So, but, I mean, whatever. Inventory, ship inventories now have 5 times more resources per slot. Suit inventories now have 2.5 times more per slot. This encourages exploration and gives freedom from the very beginning. We're also probably to increase this even further in the next update. For people in the latter game phases, this will allow greater trading potential. So this is more just like, this is just upping your inventory space, which isn't that big of a deal. You know, like, or more, I don't think it's upping inventory space, like, per slot, you know what I mean? I think it's up more, like, making it so that you get more inventory per, like, stack, if that makes sense. Like, I guess a good example is, like, in Minecraft, you can have 64 blocks per stack. If this update were to apply to Minecraft, it would be times 64 by 5. That's how many items you can have. I think that's what they're kind of going for. And not, like, you know, now you have way more inventory slots to hold, like, you know, shit that you need. Trading is now deeper. Star systems and planets each have their own wants and needs based off galactic economy. Observing these is the key to successful trading. We're still working on adjusting this based on how everyone plays, but all trading values have been rebalanced across the galaxy, giving greater depth. A bunch of these trade exploits were uncovered and have been removed. So, there's that. This is something that I'm actually really excited for because I'm totally going to use this on the first planet, definitely. Feeding. Creatures now have their own diet based on planet and climate. Feeding them correctly will yield different results per species, such as mining for you, protecting the player, becoming pets, alerting you to rare loot, or even pooping valuable resources. This is kind of cool because I remember a lot of people were saying during the trailers, like, can you tame these animals? And they were like, no. Like, why would you want to tame the animals? And people just wanted to. So then they were like, well, let's add that in because why not? Survival, recharging hazard protection requires rare resources, making shielding shards useful again. Storms can be deadly. Hazard protection and suit upgrades have been upgraded. Liquids are often more dangerous, which would make sense, honestly, because I believe that, you know, like, extreme heat, that's not really that big. Like, that's not nearly, like, as dangerous as I would assume acid is, or, like, acidic oceans, which I hope is a thing. I want acid oceans to be a thing in this. It has to be. But, yeah, so graphical effects, this is just like making graphics look better. So lighting and texture resolution have been improved. Shadow quality has been doubled. Temporal AA didn't make it in time, but it's so close. So that AA is going to be in soon, which is anti-aliasing, I believe. Balancing, several hundred upgrades have had stat changes, mainly exosuit and ship, but also weapon. New upgrades have been added. So basically they're balancing upgrades and making new upgrades and stuff like that. Combat. This is the weird one because I am going to be more combative in No Man's Sky for sure. Like, I'm definitely going to be like bounty hunter type character. But, so in combat, auto aim and weapon aim has been completely rewritten to feel more gentle in general. I have no idea what the fuck that means. That's, like, I don't get it, because I've never had a game that auto-aims for me. Well, I guess Fallout, but that doesn't really count, I think. but stickier when you need it. Sentinels now alert each other if they haven't been dealt with quickly. Quad and Walker AI is now much more challenging. Even I struggle with them without a powered up weapon. So, yeah. That's a thing. Space combat advanced techniques have been introduced, like brake drifting and critical hits. This is cool to me, but I probably won't really do that. Bounty missions are larger. Sorry about that. Bounty missions and larger battles will now occur. So that means that what's it called? That means that more like, for one, there's actually going to be bounty missions. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's awesome. Larger battles will now occur. I assume that means that there's going to be like groups of like starships like fighting each other, and you'll actually be able to participate, which is cool too. I really like that idea. It sounds like it's going for what Spore had in mind, but then like they're just like, let's just flip it on its fucking head and make it as good as possible. And that's what they're doing. So yeah. And I hate to compare that to Spore, but like this is what I wanted Spore to be at the space stage. And this is amazing. So yeah. Now, what was I saying? Pirate frequency has been increased. So that means that more pirates are probably going to come and try and get you. Which I don't really know if that's really a good thing or a bad thing, but whatever. And as well as difficulty depending on your cargo. So what that might mean is once you get more like bigger and better cargo, what'll end up happening is more pirates will kind of start to realize like, hey, he's got a lot of stuff. Let's gank him. And basically you're going to get ganked by NPCs that want your stuff. Which is cool, I guess, but I mean, whatever. It's not that big of a deal to me because I haven't played the game yet. So, space stations, interiors are now more varied. Bars, trade rooms, and hydroponic labs have been added. This is cool to me because it makes it... This sounds like it's great for role-playing type things, but I don't really see, like maybe bars will allow you to buy, like, I don't know, like drinks and stuff that allow you to get buffs or whatever. Things like that, I don't know. I don't know how, like, the bars are going to work. Trade rooms and stuff, that's always going to be a thing. And hydroponic labs, I assume that means that they're growing plants there? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Networking. Ability to scan star systems other planets have discovered on the galaxy map, or the galactic map, sorry. Increasing chance of collision. What? Wait, hold on, what? Ability to scan star systems other players have discovered on the galactic map. Increasing the chance of collision. Does that mean that you have a way to basically, like, meet your friends in this game? That would be cool, but I don't know what that means. Star systems discovered by other players appear during galactic map flight. I still don't exactly get that, but okay. Ship scanning. Scanning for points of interest from your ship is now possible. Buildings generate earlier and show up in ship scans. So, what this means is it'll probably give you, like, notes, like, if you're on a planet and you're, like, flying around trying to find, like, say, a factory or something, and you're like, I need to find this factory, it'll, like, spawn in kind of earlier than what you'll be able to see it from, and it'll basically say, like, go here, It basically makes it easier to find these things, from what it sounds like. So, flying over terrain, popping and shadow artifacts have been reduced. Thank God, because poppin' was bad when you watched the trailers. Like, seriously, go back and watch the trailers, and then, like, just watch for poppin', because most people probably didn't even notice it when they first watched it, because they were like, they were probably just like, oh my God, like, this game is amazing. The poppin' didn't really seem like that big of a deal, but when you watch it over, it's like, wow, that's really bad poppin'. And if you don't know what poppin' is, it's like when you can see, like, the map farther than what you should be able to, and when you're going in that area, and then the things like pop in. A lot of games that are noted for this issue is Skyrim is really bad with it if you like run it on low graphical settings, because you can see for miles in the map, but you can't see like buildings and shit, and that's really bad. That's really annoying, because you'll be like running in a direction and like something will just pop in front of you, and it's like, okay, and then like there'll be enemies that you just can't see because they're so far away that they don't pop in. It's kind of an issue. But whatever. Like, and it's even more noticeable when you're like traveling like across like the plains and you're looking for mammoths and you can't see them because they don't technically pop in, even though you should be able to see them from that far away. It's just something that isn't really like. It's kind of an issue, but I don't know if it's going to be that big of an issue for this game. Anyway, where was I at? Ship scanning, flying over terrain. Generation speed has been increased twofold. Planets with large bodies of water will be targeted in the next update. So what that probably means is, generation on smaller planets is probably like whatever, but, like, planets that are bigger are probably going to be loading slower, which is understandable, And now writing. The Atlas path has been rewritten. I have no idea what the fuck that means, and it's been rewritten by James Swallow, the writer of Deus Ex and me. I think it speaks to the overarching theme of player freedom more clearly now. Early mission text has been rewritten to allow for multiple endings. So that means that this game is going to have multiple endings, guys. This is exciting. I'm really excited to play this game. So I grew up reading Carmack's .plan files for Quake, so it's fun to be writing one of my own. Next up, we're adding the ability to build bases. Whoa, wait, what? No. Next up, we're adding the ability to build bases and own giant space freighters. Temporal AA and my new cloud rendering tech should be coming soon. It will really change the game again and enhance it visually. Dude, we're getting fucking bases! That's awesome! I don't know how that's gonna work exactly, but that's fucking awesome! Oh my god. And then, like, I don't know what it means by own giant space freighters, because I haven't seen any space freighters in No Man's Sky. So, like, this is, like, my imagination is running wild right now. And it's, like, I don't understand what's exactly they're talking about, but I'm excited for it anyways. So this universe we built is a pretty large canvas. We've got a lot of ideas. This is the type of game we want to be. Your grammar's a little bit, bad there, Sean. I believe this is the type of game we want to be making. But good job. So, wow. Fucking wow. That's a lot of shit that's been added. Like, how long is this video? Because I've been sitting here talking about it. 23 minutes. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna get bases building, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for this update. I'll probably just put a link. I'll actually screenshot the picture of like here, I'll just do that right now. Boom. I think that worked, right? And now if I look in my pictures or whatever, it should be there. I'm actually doing this in real time, so like it's kind of okay, whatever. I'll just put a picture of No Man's Sky up or some gameplay or something. I don't know. But dude, this is fucking big. This is big in like updates, and not just like. Keep in mind, the next update isn't gonna have bases or anything, but they're planning on adding bases and space freighters and all these things, and it's gonna be really amazing, I think. So yeah, I guess this is where we're gonna cut this off. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm probably gonna be uploading Fallout 4 probably Thursday, because that's the day that No Man's Sky is coming out. It's gonna be coming out Friday, but I'll have free time Thursday to really do this. So yeah. And if you like this video, just like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'll try and keep you in the loop for No Man's Sky updates, and I'll be talking about them as much as possible. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Keep calm and game on, everybody.